What's up, everybody? Just want to share this little information with y'all. I ain't gonna read this whole article right here because I already been over it a couple of times, man. But this just to reiterate the point that I was trying to make about how these people trying to change the way that this shit spread. They're trying to change your ideas of what you think about it and its capabilities without any proof, man. They just keep coming out here telling you, oh, we goddamn changed this, we changed that. They're not telling you how they changed it, why they changed it. And then, like I'm telling you, these are doctors that's starting to make these damn, guesses without no proof whatsoever, man. They just come about it. But you know what I mean? I'm going to flip through this so y'all can see it. If you want to, just pause the video, read the article. It's a pretty good read, man, as far as science fiction is concerned, you know what I mean? But it's not as far as, like, facts and understanding. You're not going to get that. You're just going to get a whole bunch of directions and being told what to do. You know what I mean? But I did want to read these little bulletins right here. It say, some of the easiest ways to get COVID-19 from someone else. The agency stressed being around someone with COVID-19 who might cough, sneeze, sing, talk, or breathe. You get what I'm saying? Like, breathe. You got to breathe. Like, everybody got to fucking breathe. But the thing is that I really want to know is, how do you know, as an individual, you, the person that they talking to and instructing these instructions to, how are you able to determine who's got it and who don't? Everybody got on masks. Everybody out in public. Everybody this and that. People that ain't got on masks is what you going to look at and see, oh, they might have it. And anybody who may even cough, sneeze, blink the wrong way, you're going to target them and say, oh, yeah, they got it. It's to get you to look at your fellow person as being a threat. That way, whenever they kick off civil war, you won't even question threatening other people's lives. You wouldn't even care because you already have it implemented in your mind that they're threatening yours by something that you ain't even seeing, something that you don't even have proof of. You get what I'm saying? Inhaling someone else's virus through your nose and or mouth. Okay, so inhaling their virus. So now you just sit around people, and as they talk, as they breathe, as they look at you, you inhaling their virus. You get what I'm saying? It's like, how the hell can you sit here and actually choose who got it? You get what I'm saying? Having close contact with a person who is sick with the virus, you as you might if you live or work with them. I don't even understand what the fuck that's saying. But you know what I mean? Like, people that's close contact, like with the virus, I thought you supposed to quarantine. You get what I'm saying? I thought you supposed to stay your ass at home, this and that and da. You ain't having no symptoms, how the fuck you know? So how you supposed to go out here and target these people? That's my question. But see, like I'm telling you, man, they just trying to get you in your brain to see other people as threats. The ways that this shit travels and spreads and shit like that there, man, it's psychological, first and foremost. You got to believe that you're sick in order for you to get sick. In order for you to even go through the steps of taking this test and determining that. It's crazy to me that people, I mean, listen, this is the time that people are going to get sick. You are going to get sick. Whether you know it or not, man, you're going to get sick. Most people do once a year. That's just common cold shit. But the thing about it is, man, that this common cold can be stressed and implemented as COVID-19, especially if you're around the wrong people. If you're around the people that's like, oh, man, you sick, you need to go get tested, and this and that, and da. They're going to make you want to be sick. And then you're going to be sick. And I mean, it's all about the process and procedure. I'm not scared of no fucking virus. If I'm afraid of anything, it's the people that's out here that's trying to implement these precautions and procedures. You get what I'm saying? But this basically just trying to get you to reiterate that 6 feet ain't enough. Like I said, I'm not going to read this shit, man. I've already read it. And like I said, I'm tired of wasting my breath on this shit. I appreciate y'all that do pay attention, man, and the support that I do get because, I really care and am concerned, man. This is a fight that we really got to fight. We can't allow this shit to just keep going on without doing anything, I've been praying and reflecting and just asking God to guide me. And, for the most part, I just been sitting and been instructed to be patient and wait. But as of late, God done put a sense of urgency under my feet to tell me to go ahead and get out here and start back moving. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a time that's coming, and our feet got to be ready. I just want y'all to go ahead and see that, man. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and click through. This ain't even the point that I want to make with this video, man. I just want to go ahead and just get this out there so that y'all can see. It's not even a joke, man. They're just going to continue to push this issue without giving you no proof and not one time telling you the process of elimination and how these results are obtained. Not one time have they even told you why they're able to find this shit. But yet they go out here with all this diagnosis, all this shit that you believe in. You get what I'm saying? This shit is more belief than the Bible. At least the Bible got words that was written that everybody had that can easily be examined. This shit is just out of the thin air, and shit. It's just like this shit, just like how it spreads. You know what I mean? Like it's a thing. Like, you know what I mean? These people just coining it. You get what I'm saying? They're just making it into existence without even having applicable proof. All y'all people that say, oh, my people done died, this and that, yada, yada, yada. You know for a fucking fact that you have not had no, like, it's inhumane what's happening to these people at these hospitals. You have no contact with these people. You're not able to see what they're doing. You ain't even able to be around these people. They got unlimited supplies and ability to go in there and do whatever the fuck they want to do. Like, I'm not even denying that people are dying. Of course they are dying. But it's the simple fact that you're giving them permission to treat them to the best of their abilities, which they tell you they don't even understand. But yet you letting them play with your family members in the midst of this shit. Tell me why is it that people that's outside the hospital, not one case done been reported where somebody just done fell out and fucking died due to corona. All the time they either in a nursing home or they goddamn at the doctor somehow, some way. They wind up in the doctor. They go get a test. Next thing you know, they come up with symptoms of being sick. You get what I'm saying? There's always a stipulation to it. It's not just a regular person like me running around here and just fall out. Boom, dead. Coronavirus. It's not happening. You get what I'm saying? But people out here, oh yeah, it's real, it's real, it's real. Like I told my boy, I said, how would you know? If it went from TV, you wouldn't even know it. Ain't nobody you know got it. You know what I mean? But motherfuckers sitting out here really ready to argue about the shit. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to lead me on into my next point, man, about, like, the things that they want to do, man. You know what I mean? Like, I was reading an article, man. I was scrolling through Google, and I saw this shit talking about the Georgia stay-at-home order. I didn't know it was one or whatever, but, it's COVID-19 alert, shit all over the place, telling you these protocols, ain't educating you shit about the virus, ain't telling you nothing about the findings of it. It's just telling you about what these people telling you to do. You know what I mean? They're not telling you how they getting their results. They're just telling you, oh, it's this new shit coming about. You know what I mean? But basically, they say Brian Kemp has ordered Georgia residents and visitors at high risk for several illnesses to continue to shelter in place until at least September 15th. Failure to comply with this order is a misdemeanor offense. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, you know what I mean? You're going to charge people for their own personal choice. You don't have no freedoms no more. You can get charged for making decisions that your government say that you can't. You get what I'm saying? You out here can live and you're supposed to be able to travel and move freely throughout the United States without any inhibitations, but now you can't do that. You know what I mean? But my thing is this. It says people that are at higher risk for severe illness. You get what I'm saying? People that are ordered at higher risk. Now, there's no border guideline that says this person and that person and this person. It's just a assumptive thing. You got to assume who's at high risk. Now, that's once again going back to getting you to look at other people as threats. So you see somebody you perceive as being a high risk or whatnot, then you can be like, oh man, you need to be going back out. Like, how do you target these people? How do you go out here and implement this shit? You see somebody in the store and they be like, oh man, you high risk, and now you finna give them a fucking fine? Like, who is these people that you're able to determine being high risk? So, let's go ahead and Google. You know what I mean? Who is considered to be high risk for coronavirus? You know what I mean? Simple. Blah, 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 blah. What most people gonna do probably after asking the question. You know what I'm saying? Who is at high risk of getting corona or getting COVID-19? People with several chronic conditions are more likely to experience dangerous symptoms if infected with corona. These include type 2 diabetes, severe obesity, and serious heart disease. High blood pressure and type 1 diabetes may increase your risk of serious COVID-19 symptoms. Now, the thing about it is, man, is that there's two things stick out. One is obesity, and the other one is diabetes. You get what I'm saying? Now, a lot of black folks is diabetic. You know what I mean? Most of our population is diabetic. It's about 18%. You know what I mean? It's so-called categorized with diabetes. And they say it's probably about a good 27, 28 that's uncategorized. You know what I mean? So our numbers is high. So that put us at risk. But the thing about it is that really is that's really affecting us is obesity. Now, a lot of people don't like to talk about that, but if you look at our population, as far as the black women, a lot of them are obese. And it's becoming a trend now. It's becoming an actual trend to have these obese women going out here with these health conditions, not understanding that they're putting themselves at risk and jeopardizing their own future. You get what I'm saying? Now, obesity is a problem in our population, and it's a lot of things that contribute to that. And it's a reason why people are starting to be that way. Diet and exercise is the main things, you get what I'm saying? But it's just lack of understanding of how your body works, which is the number one thing, and that's causing a lot of our people to be sick and shit like that. But also, as you see, high blood pressure. That's another thing. And as you know, black folks, they always trying to diagnose us with high blood pressure, this and that, da 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 da. Always saying that we got this. Now, I understand why we have high blood pressure, but you know, these scientists and shit like that, they try to chop it up to being something that's bad. Like, one, obesity is one of the major contributing factors. You get what I'm saying? Because naturally, black people have athletic heartbeats. We have very strong heartbeats. Our pulse is strong, and our blood is very thick. You get what I'm saying? We got very thick blood, and based off of that, by having strong heartbeats with thick blood, it's gonna create increased pressure. If you understand pressure in pipes, if you got something that's got a low viscosity, meaning that it's not thick, then you apply that. No matter what kind of pressure you apply through it, when you apply that pressure to it with the same pump, it's not going to create the same amount of pressure on the valves, which is basically like your vessels, like your veins. It's not going to create the same amount of pressure, all right? But the thing about it is that whenever you take a thicker blood and you put that into the same heart, it's going to create a higher blood pressure. Now, that's not a bad thing. That just means that our system, when it's high blood pressure like that, it's not a bad thing, especially if you dieting and eating right and you doing it like it's supposed to be done. Our bodies is naturally set up to fight off infections and shit like that. That's the reason why it's done that way. If you understand how shit is clean, like whenever you lubricate something, if you want to clean out some pipes, the thicker the material that you have, the more you are able to flush shit out. So that's the thing of how our bodies are set up biologically. You get what I'm saying? That's off of biology. That's how our bodies are set up, and that's natural in all black people. You just look it up to tell you our blood is naturally thicker than most other people. That's just something that we experience, and it's just how people are. But like you can see right here, say 4.9. This is about diabetes or whatever. Talking about 18.7% of all African Americans have diagnosed and undiagnosed diabetes, compared to 7.1% of white people. You get what I'm saying? Now, they say also now, as I was doing the research, they say that American Indians or whatever are the most highest rate or whatever, but you gotta understand, it's only like 300,000 of them in here. Maybe about 4 million. You get what I'm saying? Compared to 60 to 80 to 100 plus million Negroes. The numbers are always fucked up. But the thing is, man, is that our number of people that's actually infected with it is the highest in America. You know what I mean? They try to say the Hispanics, they do. And don't say I'm just saying it's a black person disease. It's not. You know what I mean? But disproportionately, we are targeted for these types of disease, coupled with high blood pressure. Now, you rarely see, Mexicans and Asians or whatever talking about high blood pressure. You know this is a black thing. You get what I'm saying? Now, go ahead and read this little article about it. You know what I mean? Just so you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. The prevalence of high blood pressure, HBP, or hypertension in African Americans in the United States is among the highest in the world. More than 40% of non-Hispanic African American men and women have high blood pressure. Almost half of our people. For African Americans, high blood pressure also developed earlier in their life as is usually more severe. You know what I'm saying? Why so many African Americans have high blood pressure? Theories, you get what I'm saying, include high rates of obesity and diabetes among African Americans. Like I say, obesity does play a part into it, because like I was explaining to you about that valve and shit like that with them pressure, whenever you have obesity, and the obesity that we have is more of a pungent, like tight. You get what I'm saying? Like you see the skin of the people that's obese, it's more rounded and it's more tight, it's stretched out. But if you look at the average obese white woman, they very sloppy. You know what I'm saying? It's more fluid weight than anything. It's not that like that salt, basically. And it is salt, because we it's not that we can't take in as much salt. We just eat a lot more salt. And it's not a good thing, and it's not a bad thing. It's just you have to moderate it. You have to use it in moderation. Your body have to have exercise along with that salt. You goddamn, that's how our body is, about balance. But the thing about it is, you eat, and then you sit down and you sleep, and this and that, and then your body builds up that pressure. That's what's causing most of our people to have strokes and shit like that. You got this hard pumping blood, this hard pumping heart, trying to pump all this hard, thick blood through your vessels. And then at the same time, you got all this fat that's just sitting around it and pushing down on pressure into it. You get what I'm saying? It's clouding it, and it's restricting it. So that's why you have blockages in your heart and stuff like that. Now, these scientists know that. They know that sunlight, for one, it thins your blood out. You get what I'm saying? It's a natural blood thinner that you can actually use, and diet and exercise will do the same thing. The more water you intake, stuff like that, you have to eat, and it's a balanced thing that we do. It's cultural habits that lead us to having high blood pressure. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that most people got to understand. But they'll go out here and chop it up to whatever, this and that, and it's simply because you don't understand your biology. You don't understand your life. You don't understand what these people know about you. All right. Now, I said researchers have also found that there may be a gene that makes African Americans much more salt sensitive. Now, you know what I mean? That's why I be trying to tell y'all folks, get into that understanding of genes and heredity and this pseudoscience and shit like that. See, they go in there and they try to point it out to be anything like that. Once they be able to identify something that they've already seen the results of, like us having high blood pressure, and they know the causes why, they can go in there and tie their pseudoscience, DNA structures, gene splicing, and all this shit to it. And that's when they go in here and get you to accept it. Because they're like, it's a certain gene, you know what I mean? But it's a theory. You get what I'm saying? These folks don't even goddamn, they just go out there and theorize that it's this way. Yeah, and the possibility is that they could possibly be right, but there's no choice. There's no way that they can actually go out here and see it. Now, don't think I'm saying that I'm admitting that these folks can be right. I just know that I understand that I got the possibility to be wrong. You get what I'm saying? But not about this shit they talking about, because their possibility to be able to see the stuff that they're doing is impossible. They don't have no science to prove it. Your proof has got to be proven. It's false until you prove to me otherwise. You get what I'm saying? These folks have not done that. But as far as like, these folks talking about we most sensitive to salt and shit like that, man, you know that ain't the truth. We put salt in almost everything we do. What's killing us is this fucking pork. You get what I'm saying? And salt does, if you have a over consumption of salt, I mean, yeah, it's gonna add that shit. It's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna cause your body to damn, it's like, it's gonna dehydrate you for one. You know what I mean? That right there, like I told you, it causes your blood to be thicker. When you dehydrated, you need water to thin your blood out, and sunlight. A lot of black people ain't getting that, man. You in your car, you in your house, you don't get no sunlight. You don't have no outdoor activity. You spend more time sitting down than you do standing up, unless you're standing at work inside of a closed environment. You get what I'm saying? And people who have this gene, as little as 1 extra gram, half a teaspoon of salt, could raise blood pressure as much as 5 millimeters mmHg, whatever the fuck that is. You know what I mean? But 1 tablespoon, man, you know what I mean? Talking about this shit can raise our shit. And this just, that could be technically true. But like I said, it's all about balance. If you're not balancing your diet out and you're not putting the right shit into your body, it's not going to work. It's like putting 2-cycle engine oil into a car. It's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? It does not fire that way. Your body needs the correct proteins and minerals for it to be able to fire off and for everything to work actively. Now, this is just another website talking about it, you know what I mean? I wanted to read this environmental factors because it says genetic factors. I mean, you can read that if you want to or whatever. It's talking about genetics, but it's not talking about genes. It's just talking about ancestry and stuff like that, which is true. You get what I'm saying? But I want to get into these environmental factors because that's what a lot of people don't look into and don't realize whenever they're doing this stuff. Some scientists believe that high blood pressure in African Americans is due to factors unique to the experience of blacks in the United States. Blacks worldwide have rates of high blood pressure that are similar to whites. In the U.S., however, the difference is dramatic. 41% of the blacks have high blood pressure as compared to 27% of whites. In addition, black people in the U.S. are more likely to be overweight than blacks in other countries. Some experts think the social and economical factors, including discrimination and economical inequality, are responsible for this difference. And that's absolutely correct. You see what I'm saying, man? It's like, black people, we are the same all the way throughout the world. But yet, here in America, the results that you see are 100% different compared to other people in the world. And it's not like our biology is different. It's just the things of our cultural practice that we do. And the things that we allow are different. Now, other people, they're in control of their own health. They're in control of their own people and the implementations of, anything. Like I tell you, man, they always put this shit in Africa, and next thing you know, Africa get rid of shit. It's because of the fact that these people control their own destiny when it comes down to science and medicine. People talk about Dr. Sebi like he was just some type of virologist. He wasn't. He was just a regular man that actually did treat people on a daily basis. Like we had regular doctors back in the day, some of our grandmamas could have been a Dr. Sebi. But the thing about it is, man, is that this man just became worldwide known simply because of the fact that they killed him. You know what I mean? The man went out there and he went and used YouTube to his advantage and started talking about it and preaching about it, and people got wind of it, so they had to get rid of him. That type of knowledge is what they want to get rid of. They want you to forget that your body can actually heal itself. So that's why your whole cultural practice has changed. Everybody depends on a doctor. Everybody want to go to a doctor. What did the doctor say? You know what I mean? It don't even matter what you can see and what you know. You just already assuming that the doctor is right. You get what I'm saying? But that right there, that information that tells you that, 41% of our people, almost half of our people got high blood pressure. And it's got something to do with obesity, because if you look at our people, you see the practices and habits of our people, that's what it is. And like I'm telling folks, man, that pork, it really do. You look at the average person who don't eat pork. I mean, come on now. You just can't write this fucking shit. The average person that don't eat pork, I don't know too many people that are obese that don't eat pork. You get what I'm saying? And y'all people can look at it, and the ones that really are probably just stopped. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, man, is that it's unhealthy. And I mean, it's not just because of the fact that the Bible says so, man. I have experienced it myself. I feel like I got a lot more energy. I don't get headaches, and my just everything just much more healthy, man. I can feel my body reacting to different foods, and I can feel my body getting energy. And every time I eat, I haven't ate pork in a long time, so I don't have no comparison. But I just know the difference in my body, you know. So let's go on here and move on to where to talk about with coronavirus and the African American people. You get what I'm saying? Black people. Because that's the thing that we really don't understand, man. All right, let me go ahead and read this to y'all. The coronavirus pandemic is having an impact all over the world, but disturbing trends is evident in the U.S. people of color. Particularly African Americans are experiencing more serious illnesses and deaths due to COVID-19 than white people. Why is this happening? A specialist in Sharita Goldman, MD, a specialist in endocrinology, diabetes, and metabolism. I'm guessing that's got something to do with the skin. Diabetes and metabolism. And Chief Diversity Officer at provides insight to the complex issue. Disproportionate rates of COVID-19 illnesses and deaths in the black community. According to the media reports in Chicago, where African Americans comprise a third of the city's population, they account for half of those who have tested positive for coronavirus, and more than almost three quarters of the deaths. You get what I'm saying? 75% of our people that done died, 75% of the people that have died. Now, the numbers and shit, you'll see they conflicting. They go back and forth, and they talk about, different other people and stuff like that. Like, Africa, they talk about the Hispanics also, man, but, you actually really see what's going on. A lot of people in the Hispanic community, I don't talk to many, but for the ones I know, they ain't affected. They're just looking at it like we are. They looking at it like white people. They looking at black people, too. Everybody in the world look at black people, man. Like, while I'm on it, let me tell you the story about the guy that stayed across the street. Well, not even stay across the street. The guy that worked at the gas station across the street from my neighborhood. Man, tell me why this guy, he discriminates on who can wear a mask and who can't wear a mask. And typically, it's all got to do with black folks. All right, now, my wife and kids have been in the store without a mask. We don't wear masks. Like I told the guy, if you start making me wear a mask, I take my business down the street to the guy who don't even care about it. He ain't even he told you he ain't even studying it. But this guy trying to conform and shit. Like I told him, I said, hey man, you want to do that, do it. I don't care. I take my business elsewhere. But so he like, hey, no, you don't have to wear the mask. You fine. I know you guys. You fine. So my wife in the store or whatever, and they're not getting candy. Some little young black dude walk in. He probably about 19, 20. And he didn't have on a mask. You know what I mean? The man stopped him right there in the middle of the floor. Hey, you, get out the store. Get out the store. You don't have on a mask. Get out. You not come back in here. Get out. And he was just like, man, all these other people ain't got on a mask. He said, no. You got to get out. You infected. You got it. You got corona. You got it. And he was just like, I ain't got no damn corona and this and that and da. So basically, man, the man left the store. Then my wife was looking at him like, what the fuck? And he was just like, oh no, the people over here, they tell me that the young kids over here have it. And she was just like, the young kids, you know what I mean? He was like, it was a young black boy that had it, and he's got it, but yet they gave him the right to go out here and see every other black boy, whether that's true or not. Because listen, he talking about my neighborhood. That motherfucker lying. Ain't nobody over here got no damn corona. Ain't nobody over here been had it. Ain't nobody even knew nothing about it. We talk about this shit all the time, man. Ain't nobody got that shit. So for him to come over there and so-called get this information, it's a fucking lie. He just using that opportunity to discriminate, and that's what most of these people do. That's how they using this shit. They using it to their advantage to go out here and say, okay, yeah, we can goddamn discriminate on however we want to. All right. Likewise, in Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, African Americans make up 70% of deaths due to coronavirus, but just 20% of the county's population. These examples are not exceptional, and the trend is not limited to African American, Golden says. While much of the focus has been on African Americans disproportionately contracting and dying from COVID-19, other minority populations are also adversely affected, including Latino, Hispanics, and Native Americans communities. You know what I mean? Other people getting it, but you know what I mean, it's disproportionately black. You know what I'm saying? These communities share common social and economical factors. already in place before the pandemic that increased their risk of COVID-19. Now, see, like I'm telling you, man, this is like, this is a planned thing. They already know who they was planning on attacking and stuff like that. They already got their whole synopsis of why it's going to be the way it is and stuff like that there. These people know what they're up to, man. They're not even trying to hide the information no more. They're just straight up going about it and just pushing the narrative. So if you pay attention to the language, you'll understand that, listen, man, these people are targeting a certain ethnic group, and they're going to target us through any means necessary. Now they're starting to make it look like we are actual threats to other people just by based off of, pseudoscientific information that nobody else is actually out here examining. Whenever I analyze this shit, people think that I'm just going over the top and I'm just spitting off bullshit. But my thing is this, man, you got to be able to prove your claim. The proof should be there. Anybody should be able to shut me up quickly by just going in here and showing the proof, the legitimacy of it. But nobody is doing that. Nobody even taking the challenge to do so. They just want to be like, oh man, I know somebody that did this, without acknowledging that the whole process of them going, which they went through, was not the same. It was not, nowhere near normal. I ain't gonna continue to read that, man, but y'all can read this if y'all want to. I just want to put this in here and let y'all understand, man, that it's talking about, just about how we got, we ain't got access to health care and shit like that. Like I told you, man, me and my family, we don't go to doctors, and we have not been sick. The thing about it is that most old people know that they were not sick until they went to doctors. So you want to sit here and try to blame this fictitious disease on that being the case, it's a fucking lie. You know what I mean? 90% of us don't go to the doctor even if we got health care. Only people that's going is these women that got children and shit like that. They taking them back and forth. And a lot of times they're only doing that to get an excuse from work. My child had to go to the doctor, da-da-da-da-da. So they'll take them. You know what I mean? Then they just going in here so they can get them folks up out their back and just do whatever the hell they need to do with their kids. Well, whatever the hell these folks tell them to do. So they the ones that's going to the doctor. You know what I mean? Then you got these people that's out here that's psychologically dependent on drugs and shit. So they go to the doctor for any ache that they can get to try to get medication. So, I mean, man, it's like, as far as health risk and shit like that, curing viruses and curing shit like that, we ain't never had no problem. Our biggest problem is diabetes. You know what I mean? And the precautions that they give us to be able to treat it is completely inaccurate. You know what I mean? So, I just urge people to go out here and do a little bit of research, man. And then, like they say, stress. You know what I mean? Stress is another thing, man. Black folks being stressed out, that causes us to get corona. That's got us more susceptible. But like I'm saying, man, if you continue to look at this shit, man, you will see. This is just another one. I didn't continue to read on this one. I just put a little bit on here. But it's another article. If you want to go back and look at it, just Google it up and you'll see it. But I mean, man, I'm urging y'all to really start paying attention, man, because I mean, it's not even no joke no more. These people ain't even trying to hide their intentions. I mean, shit, it's like they're trying to do it secretively. Now, back in the beginning of this shit, I was posting articles all throughout Facebook showing y'all how they was talking about the darker you are, the more susceptible because your body can't kill off the bacteria because the sunlight, we can't absorb enough UV rays and this and that. Our body block out the UV rays that's needed. And they was trying to make it about a skin color thing. And I'm trying to tell you, man, they going to do that again. They just had to reiterate. They ain't reiterating it yet. They just talking about African Americans. Which African Americans? Why? You get what I'm saying? They ain't even going to stress why. You know what I mean? And then they talk about like, this virus just mutating and adapting and all this other shit. Man, it's not that. It's your mind that's adapting. You changing the way that you view people. You changing the way that you view the capabilities of this fucking virus. Why? Because the CDC come out every fucking day. Oh, well, we changed it. Now it's this. Now it's that. And you don't know which way to believe. But yet you keep seeing these rules come about. You keep seeing all these people going out here trying to make all this fuss about, oh, man, you got to do it. You got to wear your mask. You just need to do this. And I mean, that's the mentality that's like that comply, that hurry up and comply without any applicable proof. You pushing your issues on other people, your beliefs on other people. I mean, man, this is worse than, like a jihad or whatever. You know what I mean? This is worse than any type of religion that you can be on. Because, I mean, man, this is religion. This is worse than that. I mean, this is something that you coming out with out of thin air. You ain't even got no results, man. I mean, like, to me, it's crazy as fuck. How could you really expect that a virus can just jump out in America and just come into America? And I mean, it just hit it all simultaneously to all cities in America at one time. You didn't never see no outbreak and no spread. You just saw, oh, everybody got it. Oh, man, now you left to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner about who got it and who don't. Without no guidance on how you supposed to tell these people. How you supposed to know? You telling me people can be asymptomatic but still got it. So now you create more confusion. So now what factors am I supposed to rely on in order to be able to say this shit? Now you telling me that people can, the shit can linger. You get what I'm saying? So that means you telling me that people that go, like most of the time, if you see people inside the store, they don't put their mask on until they go out, until they go into the store. They be walking all through the parking lot and then they'll throw their mask on when they get to the door. You get what I'm saying? So now you telling me that all these people that was walking around doing that shit, they got it. They already got it. I mean, it's been spreading like this. You just now find out how it spread. So it's been spreading like this, right? So you can't deny it. And then the thing is like with wildlife, you know what I mean? So if it's spreading in that manner, what's stopping these deers from getting this shit? Everybody talk about, oh, my cousin dog got it and this and that, man. Fuck all that. Why the rest of the wildlife ain't got it? Why all these other people that's out here around, deers and hunting and shit like that, and then, you out here because, like, let's say all these people that exercise and stuff like that, it's lingering in the air. So a deer run past, it got it. Why we don't just see deers falling outside the fucking road? Why we don't see our wildlife population just dwindling? Simply because of the fact that ain't nothing changed besides you. You the ones that's out here dwindling. You don't understand that shit, though. But, man, that's all I want to say about this shit. I hope y'all get what I'm trying to tell y'all. And just continue to pay attention, man. You know what I mean? I ain't out here just wasting my breath. You know what I mean? I know I ain't falling on deaf ears, man. I appreciate that. But, you know what I mean? It's just frustrating a lot of times to be able to see people out here not really caring about the things that they need to care about, But until the next time, man, y'all have a blessed day. Peace.